Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Romebone. This is Beneath the Dirt. Thank you for tuning in. It's very much appreciated. This is the spot, the new spot where you're going to hear juggalo news, hip-hop news, and every once in a while I'll even sprinkle in some mainstream news. I love hip-hop. I love music. Every Friday, since music comes out on a Friday now, I look forward to all the music coming out on Friday. Whenever the fuck it comes out, I'm looking forward to new music. Primarily, mostly, this podcast is going to deal with juggalo shit, I.C.P, Twisted, Psychopathic Records, Magic Ninja Entertainment, a lot of strange music shit, Tech 9. We're going to be talking about a lot of that, what goes on in the juggalo world. Everything from the gatherings, Hollow Wickeds, Fright Fests, 420 weekends, Juggalo weekend. That's what I'm going to be talking about. Now myself, I've been a juggalo for about 20 years. I got down when Great Malenko came out. My cousin showed me how a lot of people got down with I.C.P was the game show song, the netting game. And that's how I got down. That song was fucking hilarious. I was like, yo, let me borrow this CD. Let me listen to the rest of the CD. From that moment, I was hooked. About 97, 98. It's been 20 years I've been down. And I've been following pretty religiously since then. I'm an avid audio collector. I collect the fuck out of CDs. I collect the fuck out of cassettes. Collect the vinyl. Audio is my shit. And that's what this podcast is mainly going to be dealing with. Talking about the music. Talking about the shit that goes on behind the scenes. That gets brought to light to the public. You know, I'm pretty hyped to be fucking doing this. I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable at this shit. Now that you know a little bit about my juggalo past, it's time to look into the future, talk about the present, talk about the future. We could even go back into the past, talk about some shit. As long as I've been a juggalo for 20 years, I don't have any friends that I know personally that are juggalos, that like any music from I.C.P, Twisted. Tech 9 appeals to a larger audience. You go to a Tech 9 show, you see all sorts of fucking people there. You go to an I.C.P or Twisted show, you're gonna see juggalos. And you know a juggalo when you fucking see it. Juggalos don't give any fucks. I appreciate you tuning in. If you could hit that subscribe button, it'd be very much appreciated. You could follow me on all my socials. Links will be in the description. Now let's talk about the big fucking elephant in the room, Fearless Fred Fury. As I'm recording this right now, it's October 28th. Fearless Fred Fury was supposed to have come out October 26th, 2 days ago. 2 days before the release date, we get the notification that it's been pushed back. Not only has it been pushed back, but it's been pushed back by fucking 3 months. 3 fucking months. Why would they wait 2 days to push an album back 3 months? Personally, I don't care that it got pushed back, but if you're gonna push some shit back, you need to give the fans more than 2 days notice to push something back 3 months. What do I think of the pushback? I think the pushback is because the album isn't finished. Simple enough. The album isn't finished. Clearly they didn't reach the deadline. Their deadline for physical product would have been at least a month ago. So really they got 2 months, I'm guessing, to record this album, meet the deadline, get the physical product. Pre-orders are going up on Black Friday, November 23rd, I believe. And you have to buy the physical copy of Fearless Fred Fury and send in a proof of purchase to get the Flip the Rat EP. Now, let's talk about that real quick. Why do we have to send in our proof of purchase for the album to get the Flip the Rat EP? Why don't they just bundle the Flip the Rat EP with Fearless Fred Fury? Since they love bundling shit so much, look at the Mighty Death Pop. That came with 3 fucking versions. You got 3 different CDs with each one. Bang Pow Boom, similar. You had red, green, blue. Each came with a different intro to the album. The Missing Link, that they just put out in 3 parts, Lost Found, and the outtakes. So with the Fearless Fred Fury, you have to send in the purchase to get the Flip the Rat EP. That makes no sense to me. And if we have to send our proof of purchase in to Psychopathic Records to get the Flip the Rat EP, I'm just going to say that you're not even guaranteed to get the Flip the Rat EP. With Psychopathic's reputation, when they were running Hatchet Gear themselves, you put in an order, you'd be lucky to get not only get that shit, but get it shipped out within a month. The last few times before they switched their store to have somebody else run it, a company run it, it was nothing but nightmares every time you order something from Hatchet Gear. So I'm only going to assume that you send in a proof of purchase of the Fearless Fred Fury CD to get the Flip the Rat EP. It's gonna be a fucking nightmare. It's gonna be a lot of pissed off juggalos. They ain't gonna want to fucking battle with just to get an EP that you should probably just bundle with the album. My expectations for Fearless Fred Fury, honestly, after the Missing Link albums and the singles that they've released, Shaggy's solo album, my expectations for Fearless Fred Fury are quite low. I feel like they haven't put out a quality product since the Mighty Death Pop. I guess you could give them a pass for, I believe, Killjoy Club and the last Dark Lotus album came out after the Mighty Death Pop. So you could say those two albums. But anything after that has not been good. The 6 foot, 7 foot freestyle was fucking trash. That song Jay did over the Ray Shremmerd beat, where he was in Las Vegas, sounding like a fucking dying seal washed up ashore. That shit was trash. The We're Not a Gang shit was trash. The only part I liked about that was ABK's verse. You have, and then what else did you get? The Juggalo Cypher where they introduced Ouija Mac. That shit was trash as well. Ouija Mac killed that shit though. But as far as I.C.P hasn't released, in my opinion, any good music since the Mighty Death Pop. The Missing Link, Lost, Found, Outtakes. You could take the best, in my opinion, you could take the best songs from all three of those albums and you could come up with about 7 or 8 good songs. You could come up with a solid EP. And that's fucking sad. Because I think each one had 12 songs, so 36 songs. Out of those 36 songs, 7 are good, 8 are good, something like that. I just know the number's real low. So that's my expectations for Fearless Fred Fury. What do I hope for Fearless Fred Fury? I hope that they drop this positive, lovey-dovey shit that they tried to do with the Missing Link, and they released Lost, the Dark album, and then the Found, the Light album. They tried recreating the Wraith and failed. But I want them to go back, not overly trying to be dark like the Lost album was. They were trying too hard to be dark. And Found they were trying too hard to be fucking light and happy. I just want a genuine, authentic I.C.P album where you get that wicked shit. You get that funny shit. You get that storytelling shit from Jay. That lighthearted shit. Track 17. Like Pass Me By, I'm Coming Home. Shit like that. That's what I want from I.C.P. I want them to really fucking dig down and put together a solid project. I feel like they have a lot riding on this project. Juggalos don't have much to look forward to when it comes to Psychopathic Records. This year, all they released was Ouija Mac's Gutter Water. They released one album. Light's album came out 2017. Shaggy's album came out 2017. So last year they had 2 albums drop. This year they had 1 album drop. They've put out compilations and shit like that, but that don't really count because either the songs suck or it's just songs we've already heard on a new compilation. Psychopathic desperately needs a new I.C.P album, and they not only need a new I.C.P album, they need a good I.C.P album. A lot, in my opinion, is riding on this album. How much longer can Juggalos stand behind this machine if you're not getting that quality product? All the re-releases are dope. All the vinyl, the Joker card re-releases, all that shit is dope. I love that shit. I got all the vinyl, all the Joker cards, the sideshow EPs. I got all that. But we need that new shit. And we need that new shit to be good. No subpar mediocre shit. We need Violent J at his best. We need those stories. We need those storytelling tracks like Play With Me, Toy Box, 12, Halloween on Military Street. We need all those great storytelling songs, and we need that wicked shit. We need that uplifting track at the end. We need for them to put together a quality album. Another question I have is who is producing the album? The Missing Link albums were produced by Young Wicked, Kuma, Seven. There might have been a couple others, but that was mainly who produced the Missing Link albums. They haven't worked with Mike Clark since the Mighty Death Pop album. And if you ask me, I.C.P. isn't really I.C.P. without Mikey Clark. The only time they've really gotten away and put together a good product without Mikey Clark was the Wraith Shangri-La. That was really the only time that they put out a product that was good without Mikey Clark. They haven't put out much shit without Mikey Clark, but that album without Mikey Clark was really the only good album. Shaggy's last solo album really wasn't that good. I saw a lot of juggalos call that album of the year. I did not get that from that release. I got about 3 or 4 good songs from that release. The Missing Link albums were just really fucking bad. They just weren't good at all. And then you got the random singles, them rapping over other people's shit. It just sounds awkward, doesn't sound natural. I hope that Mikey Clark is producing Fearless Fred Fury, but I don't think he's producing Fearless Fred Fury. I don't know who's producing Fearless Fred Fury. If I had to guess, I'd say Esham is producing some of that shit. Esham's been fucking with I.C.P. a lot more as of late. He's put the beef to the side yet again. So I would expect some Esham on there, probably some Seven, maybe get some Kuma on there again. I'm not really sure. I want Mikey Clark and I.C.P. to do another album, because when they came out with the second deck and they fully reunited with Mikey Clark, because they reunited with Mikey Clark on The Tempest, but if you go back and read old interviews, Mikey Clark was just emailing them beats. They weren't in the studio creating the music together. When Bang Pow Boom came out, you could tell that they were in the studio putting that shit together from scratch, and the shit came out dope. Same with the Mighty Death Pop. So I'm hoping Mikey Clark will be on it, but I haven't seen any evidence that'll prove or suggest that Mikey Clark has anything to do with Fearless Fred Fury. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know what to expect. We're gonna get a new single the day the pre-orders go up. I'm going to refuse to listen to any singles and watch any videos before the album comes out. Because if that song is bad, I'm gonna go into it with even lower expectations than I already have, and I don't want that. Do I think it's bad that I have low expectations? No. Because I had very low expectations for Bang Pow Boom, and that shit was like, oh, alright, this is actually pretty good. So I don't think it's a bad thing to have low expectations, because really, what am I going to be disappointed? I am expecting to be disappointed. They have a lot riding on this album. Juggalos can't just sit back and keep watching this fucking disaster happen, quite honestly. As a longtime juggalo that's been following this for 20 years, I want to see I.C.P. put out a solid album. Reinvigorate that feeling that I once had not even 5 years ago. Put out that solid product. You gave yourself a couple more extra months to do it. You can do it. So let's hear it. I want to hear that classic I.C.P. I want to thank you for tuning in to my new podcast. This is Romebone. This is the Beneath the Dirt podcast. This is a short one, but let's just get this one right out the chamber, and I'll be back. Thank you.